Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Hold on. Is it okay if I close these lights? Okay. Back to my channel. I'm really excited, but yet I'm so agitated right now. Okay, so I was gonna film this video, right? I filmed this video. I was getting ready to edit it, and I realized my whole entire SD card completely deleted. This little thing right here deleted every single video I have ever made. Every single photo I ever took. Couldn't get it back, and the only way to get it back I had to pay like what, 70 something, 80 something, sometimes $100 to get all of it back, and I was not doing that for one video. And there was something very special and important on there for me, but I decided, you know what, whatever. So I decided, you know what, I posted another video. I said, hey, I'm just gonna record it, you know, next week. So here I go, recording it next week. I'm here. I put this into my freaking camera, and it says that there's a memory card error, and I'm so pissed off because I had so much to do. Like, it's almost 4 o'clock. Usually I get out of work at 4:30, so I'm running, you know, ahead of schedule, but at the same time I have so much stuff I need to do and handle. It just seems like it's not working. So I had to go buy an SD card, and this one is 64. Sorry, this is 128. The one I bought was 64 gigabytes. So that means I spent almost 2 times the amount of money, $24 for a SIM card at CVS, and I was not trying to, you know, wait on, you know, to order from Amazon. So a lot has happened, guys, and I'm very frustrated right now. But I knew I had to get this SIM card, even though it was $24. I did not want to spend it, but I had to spend it because I needed to record this video for you guys, and you know, I need it for when I go away. I needed the SIM card. So it's a new era, I guess we could say. It's a new generation. Without further ado, today we're going to be talking about credit and how to build your credit if you are, you know, just starting out. So you're probably 18, 19 years old, or even 20, 21 years old, and you want to start building your credit. Well, good thing for you is I started building my credit at 18 years old, because in the state of Alabama you have to be either 18 or 19 to have your own credit card. But that kind of goes into how you build your credit, especially without your parents' help, because sometimes people, when they're younger, their parents will do something so that as the parent is building credit, they're building the credit of their child who was very, very young. So the first thing I do to build my credit was I got a credit card. And you can build your credit 100% with a credit card. Of course, you know, bills and stuff like that, because it has your social security number, and your social security number is linked to your credit card. And I'm looking at my notes right now, guys. But basically, a credit card, it's free. It's, you know, especially the Discover Student one. I would say there are credit cards who charge an annual fee or charge you for opening up a credit account. Do not go for those ones. Go for free ones. A good one I recommend for students, please listen, is the Discover Student Credit Card. And they start you off with usually $500, depending on how much you make, and you probably don't make much. So they start you off at like $500, and every month you pay it back. Whatever you use or your credit limit, you pay that back each month. So that builds your credit, and after 3 months of, you know, using your credit card, using it, paying it back, of course the bill is due once a month, where you pay whatever the minimum payment, which is usually $35, and I always recommend doing a little bit more than the minimum payment each month until your balance is paid off. And your balance is the amount of money that you used, and your credit line remaining is the amount of money you didn't use. So always use 1/3 of your credit line. But of course, that's going to be a later video. But start off, I love the Student Discover card. I think I have it actually in my wallet. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it has all my card details on the back. So I kind of been using this for a year, and they double your cash back. So at the end of the year, they'll give me $75 more, and they'll basically double how much cash back that you get. And I just love it. And you can also earn money for your GPA and your grades, basically. And after 3 months you get a credit score. So usually because you're probably younger, your credit score, your credit score of course may not be that great. But mine's, when I first started, of course, you know, that first 3 months, it was a good credit score. It was actually, I can't say that on the camera, but it was it was a really high credit score. So always, you know, make sure you're using 1/3 of the credit line. So the more credit cards you apply for, it can lower your credit score. I'll go into that in a later video. But basically for the credit line, it's your total amount for all your credit cards. So I have 2 credit cards, so it's just gonna give a random number. My limit is all together at credit line, how much money I can borrow is $1,500. We're just gonna say that. That's not the real number, but just a hypothetical. So that means I should be using 1/3 of the utility of that card, or all together, since, you know, you can have a different limit on one credit card and a different credit limit on another card, and combined it's your total credit line, or how much, you know, the banks are giving you to use. And that's a great I would look into the student credit, and that credit card, the Discover Student one, which I like, and that's an easy way to build your credit right there. And of course, because you're younger, it might take some time because you don't have credit history. People, especially if you're buying a home or a car, they're like, well, we don't know if this person will pay their bills because there's no past, there's nothing. All we could see, you know, because they don't see, oh, you missed a payment. All they see is the credit score. That's all they see. And plus your age, they're gonna be like, oh, well, we don't know, you know, this person never got any loans, this person never bought a car, this person never has a home, this person doesn't pay bills. So we have no way of telling if this person is a reliable enough person to lend money to. And that's basically what it comes down to. And that's why credit is important. Also, of course, I talked about choosing credit cards with no annual fees. Some American Express cards, I love American Express. I probably get like a gold American Express within the next 2 years, honestly. But some credit cards basically have an annual fee which you have to pay each year. Some are like $95, some are $100, and stay away from those. Even though they have like probably good, you know, benefits, just stay away. Just go with the free, because you're still building your credit and you're still being able to do what you do. And you can also choose what day you want your bill to be due by as well. There's also choosing a card. Be careful of the interest rate and the APR. After I know for student card, for several credit cards, for like 6 months or even the first 3 months, it will be 0%, you know, interest, 0% APR. So but over time that interest applies to your account. So depending on your balance, it's like a certain percentage of your balance is taxed onto it, so it's kind of like more money that you owe. So that's why it's good to have your utilities down, because APR can charge, depending on your limit, could charge you $100 just by how much credit limit that you use. Also, a thing about credit is your credit score can be anywhere from 300, which is the lowest, to 850. I've talked to a bank before and they said they've never came across, especially when someone's applying for a loan, especially for a house, they've never seen anyone with 850. But I know there are people with 850 credit score. There's one person in particular I know has an amazing credit score of 850, not 850 but 800s, and it's very rare to see that. And of course, like, if you don't pay your bills on time, that could lower your credit score. If you have too much utility on your credit card, that lowers your credit score. But keep in mind, a credit card is not the only way to build credit. Another way you can build credit is just maybe paying a bill, maybe paying a water bill at your house because it's connected to your social security number. You can take care of that. Your parents can help you. They set that up so you could pay a bill of theirs or pay your own phone bill. That builds your credit. So I'm just saying this is the easiest way without your parents' help to build your credit, which is to open up a credit card. Do not apply too much, but you have a high chance of being approved for the Student Discover card. Do that. Do that. And I have the Apple credit card, and I want to do a whole different video on the Apple credit card because I love it. I genuinely do love it. Like, it's good, and they have an amazing customer service, and so does Discover. Like, every single time I call, I never really have to hold, you know, they fix all my problems, everything like that. So that's why I love the student, you know, card, and I also love the Apple credit card. And I feel happy having two, because if I don't want to use one, I can use another and stuff like that. But there's also a lot of things that I've learned about credit. like a lot of things I learned, you know, a lot of mistakes that I've made with the credit card, a lot of things I've learned and things I've picked up along the way, and that will be a separate video if you guys want me to go into it. But credit is important, especially for the future, if you're thinking ahead, especially if you're contemplating, you know, moving out, you're contemplating a new car, even if for your job, some jobs will pull your credit, and that goes into a hard pull versus not so much of a hard pull. A hard pull can lower your credit score only temporarily, and I don't want you guys to feel, you know, bad if your credit score is low, because there's always chances to repair, and it just takes hard work and dedication to repair your credit score, because you can get there. Never close out. I'm going to a whole different video, but I'm really passionate about budgeting. I'm very passionate about spending money effectively, spending money looking ahead at the future, but also making sure that you're enjoying your life, because you don't want to sit here and just be like, oh, I can't do anything. No, there are ways to get what you want without necessarily that goes into just mostly budgeting. If you budget right, you can see how much you have to spend, how much you don't have to spend, how much is for bills, how much is not for bills. So we're gonna go into a different video when it comes to that. But again, I'm so happy that I didn't have to freaking film this again. But also, one other thing I wanted to add is that there are 3 credit bureaus in the United States. There's Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. I don't use Credit Karma, which is just a way you can check your credit scores across all 3 bureaus. I have my Experian app, if I could just show you guys. Looks like this. The Experian app right here. Oh my gosh, I don't know if we'll show. This is the Experian app that I have on my phone, and you can basically see your score. I can see, I think, my TransUnion score, my Experian score, but I like that. So you can really see, it can give you alerts, it can give you fraud alerts. I love that. Credit Karma, I do not recommend Credit Karma at all, especially if you're getting a car, because every single time I've talked to a salesperson, he said every single time your credit, they pull someone's credit, because you have to pull credit, especially if you're trying to finance or a loan, they have to pull your credit. And usually when they pull their credit is much lower than what it says on Credit Karma. Like, Credit Karma has sometimes gives a false point average of 100 points. He said he's seen people say, oh, my credit score is 750 something, but their score is 150 points lower. So Credit Karma is not really accurate at all. I know the score, you could check it through Experian. I like Experian because it's more accurate, and it really has a whole layout. It has graphs, it has everything that you're gonna need. So you will be equipped, everything you need. You will be equipped with the apps, with working with the banks or anyone that you choose your credit card from. Again, I like Discover, and of course over time the Discover people, or the people at Discover, they can increase your credit line. So sometimes you'll see that your credit is not 500 now, it's 750 now, and over time you can increase your credit. But of course you got to keep that 1/3 percent lower, you know what I'm saying, that 1/3 utility. But also some people, they decide to lower their credit limit so that they don't go past something where they start snowballing into debt. But I have so much to talk about when it comes to this, guys. Like, I need to put on some lip gloss. Except I don't know where my lip gloss is. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I did. And I'm happy I filmed it a second time, because I feel like I said more stuff for you guys to consider. And it's important to start building your credit. At least when you're like 18 or something. I feel like you should start. There's no problem with it, but there's a lot of things I'm going to tell you guys to be aware of. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys go, and yes, take care, y'all.